Do you find these algebraic expressions difficult to expand and simplify? Well, this is the perfect video for you. Hello and welcome back to Solving for Sola, where today's topic is dealing with algebraic expressions, more specifically further expansion. Now let's get right into the video. Last episode we discussed how to expand and simplify the following algebraic expressions. So, we learned that we need to expand the first to the first, first to the second, second to the first, second to the second. And this would expand into, so x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x plus 2x plus 3 times x is 3x plus 3 times 2 is 6. And then we can simplify. So there's 1x squared, there's 2x and 3x, and we have a 6. So to simplify this, we look at the like terms. X squared has no like term. 2x and 3x are like terms, and 6 has no other like term. So x squared stays the same, plus 2x plus 3x, we can add them, becomes 5x plus 6. Moving on to the next one, we have 2x plus 1 into 3x minus 2. So it's 2x times 3x, then 2x times negative 2, then 1 times 3x, then 1 times negative 2. And we'll get 2x times 3x is 6x squared. First we multiply the numbers, so 2 times 3 is 6, then x times x is x squared, and then 2x times negative 2, that's negative. First we look at the signs, one's negative, so it becomes negative. 2 times 2 is 4, and there's only one x. And then 1 times 3x is plus 3x, and 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. And then we look at the like terms. So there's 6x squared, and it has no other like term. There's negative 4x and plus 3x, which are like terms. And finally, we have negative 2, which has no other like term. We simplify, we get 6x squared minus 4x plus 3x, that's minus x minus 2. And we can now move on to further expansion. In order to understand how to simplify expressions like this, we need to first learn how to further expand. So here are examples on further expansion. So in this example, we have x plus 3 into x squared plus x plus 2. When you further expand, multiply the first number in the first bracket with the first number in the second bracket, first with the second, and then first with the third, and then you move on to second with the first, second with the second, and second with the third. This gives you x times x squared, which is x cubed, plus x times x is x squared, plus x times 2 is 2x, plus 3 times x squared is 3x squared, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is 6. Now we look at the like terms. So we have 1x cubed, so there's no other like term. We have x squared and 3x squared, which are like terms. We have 2x and 3x, which are like terms. And finally, we have plus 6. So this gets simplified as x cubed plus x squared plus 3x is 4x squared. 2x and 3x become 5x plus 5x plus 6. So this was for A. Now for B, we have x plus 4 into x squared plus x minus 2. So we first expand x times x squared, x times x, then x times negative 2, then 4 times x squared, 4 times x, and 4 times negative 2. And we get x times x squared is x cubed, x times x is x squared, so plus x squared, x times negative 2 is negative 2x. 4 times x squared is plus 4x squared. 4 times x is plus 4x. And 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And then we look at the like terms. So we have 1x cubed, we have x squared and plus 4x squared for like terms. We have negative 2x and plus 4x, and finally minus 8. Now we can simplify. We'll get x cubed and then x squared plus 4x squared gives us 5x squared. So plus 5x squared minus 2x plus 4x gives us plus 2x and then minus 8. Now we can go back to the cubed expression and apply what we have learned here. So we already know that a cubed is the same as a times a times a. So with that information, we can expand and simplify x plus 2 cubed. So we'll get x plus 2 cubed can be also written as x plus 2 into x plus 2 squared. And you already know how to solve x plus 2 squared, so we can expand this further. We'll get x plus 2 into x squared plus 4x plus 4. If you're not sure why this happens, check my last video, I explained it in detail. So now we can expand using the method we just learned. So we multiply x times x squared, then x times 4x, and then x times 4, then 2 times x squared, 2 times 4x, and 2 times 4, giving us x cubed plus x times 4x is plus 4x squared, x times 4 is plus 4x, and then 2 times x squared is plus 2x squared, 2 times 4x is plus 8x, and 2 times 4 is plus 8. And now we can find the like terms. So there's only one x cubed, we have 4x squared and 2x squared, we have 4x and 8x, and finally plus 8. So this gets simplified to x cubed plus 4x squared plus 2x squared is 6x squared, 4x plus 8x, that's 12x plus 12x, and then plus 8. Hopefully by now you're understanding the concept, and you can move on to the final two examples, and hopefully you'll be able to solve them easily. So we have to expand and simplify. For the first one, we have x into x plus 1 into x plus 2. So what we can do first is expand x times x, and then x times 1, and then the expression we get, we expand it into x plus 2. So let's start off. X times x is x squared. X times 1 is plus x. So we have x squared plus x into x plus 2. Now we can expand these two brackets into each other. So we get x squared times x, and then x squared times 2, x times x, and then x times 2, giving us x squared times x, which is x cubed, x squared times 2, which is plus 2x squared, x times x, which is plus x squared, and x times 2, which is plus 2x. And then we search for the like terms. We have x cubed, 2x squared, and x squared, and finally plus 2x. So this gets simplified as x cubed, and then 2x squared plus x squared gives us plus 3x squared and plus 2x. Let me move it to the side and we'll solve b now. Now let's solve b. So for b we have x plus 1 in brackets into x minus 2 in brackets times x plus 2 in brackets. So what you need to realize first here is that we have a difference in two squares. So, did you remember from last video where we discussed how if you have a plus b into a minus b, that can be simplified as a squared minus b squared? So you can apply this rule into here. So we have x minus 2 into x plus 2. So this can be simplified as x plus 1 into x minus 2 into x plus 2 could be written as x squared minus 4, which is 2 squared. And then we have two brackets and you can expand easily. X times x squared and then x times negative 4, then 1 times x squared and then 1 times negative 4, giving us x times s squared, which is x cubed, x times negative 4, which is negative 4x, 1 times x squared, which is plus x squared, and 1 times negative 4, which is negative 4. So now we can search for the like terms. We have 1x cubed, we have minus 4x and plus x squared, and finally minus 4. So there's no like terms. Therefore, we can leave it as it is. So this was the end of the video. Hopefully you learned how to deal with further expansion and with brackets cubed. And next video, we'll go into further expansion and we'll go into further algebraic expressions and how to deal with more complex algebraic expressions. So don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can stay tuned into the next videos. And please comment down below if you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos. Thank you for watching and goodbye.